Hi, I'm Vicky. I love books and enjoy reading. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is to read. If I go for a run, I listen to an audiobook. In my leisure moments, I read whilst enjoying some good music. Are you an avid reader, or you're not learning how to read? Maybe you used to enjoy reading, but somehow it has become a thing of the past. Come on this journey with my guests and I as we dive into various books and themes these books talk about. Every week, I speak to various authors who are behind life-transforming books, as well as promote various stakeholders within the publishing industry. The Kiddie Zone segment on the show is meant specifically to ignite reading interest in your child. Watch the Writer's Blog on this station this and every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. and on Sunny 88.7 FM every Saturday at 1 p.m. This program is powered by Reveal Multimedia and supported by The Writer's Blog. Read, write, indulge your mind. Hello and welcome to the Writer's Blog Talk Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, this is a program designed to celebrate authors and their works, Ghanaian authors, African authors for that matter, as well as various stakeholders within the publishing industry. We're coming to you live today, as always, from La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. They say uniquely golden, traditionally Ghanaian. If you're looking for that serene environment, delicious meals, just a fun time with you, your family, your friends, that special someone, make sure you're making your way right here. This program is powered by Reveal Multimedia and supported, of course, by La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Holy Ever After, Challenge Enterprises of Ghana, Akko Books Audio, Side Farm, Consuelo, Codice Fashion and Beauty GH, Anyedu, and of course, FC Beauty. Today, I have a very wonderful woman, a very true friend of mine, and I'm so excited to have her on the show today, sharing from her book, excellent book, On Purpose. I don't want to give it all away. Let's go for this very quick break. When we are back, get talking to her. Codice Fashion and Makeover is a one-stop shop for all your beauty needs. Our services include makeup, nail art, pedicure, manicure, braids, wake up, hairstyling, and so much more. Our fashion outlet churns out a trendy unisex African print designs for every occasion. So go on and wear Africa, wear Ghana. Locate us at Second Link Chapel Square, Sakomono. Contact us on 0545 988 607. or 0302 985 409 or 0504 227 113. At Codice Fashion and Makeover, styling you is our hobby.
Akko Books Audio makes African books accessible and available for everyone, anytime, anywhere, on a wide variety of mobile devices, including computers, tablets, and of course, mobile phones. My name's Amma Dadson, and I'm founder of Akko Books Audio, a digital streaming platform, an African spoken word experience provider. We transform African books into exciting and engaging audio experiences that make reading affordable, convenient, and fun. We offer readers a library of top-notch African authors and literary voice talent through listening to audiobooks and audio programming. With over 300 titles in over 20 categories, including fiction, biographies, and children's books, we aim to be the world's largest African audio digital library, promoting audio literacy in English, French, and African languages.
Asante from Anyedu. Anyedu is a children's company, a multimedia children's company that wants to help parents to raise successful and blessed kids. We believe that all children have potential and it has to be unleashed. So we are helping parents to unleash this potential, and especially for us as Africans, we believe that this is our time. This is when we can make an impact in this world. We want to raise a new generation of strong, confident, bold African children who would change the world, change the narrative of an African in the world. We are starting from Ghana. We are hoping that we will be able to reach the whole of Africa and let the children know that, look, they can do anything that they want to do because through Christ, all things are possible.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, I told you we have a very special guest, and she is in the person of Selikem Acolatse Apaloo. She is the Executive Director, Seli Ministries, and of course, a veteran media consultant. Let's take our quote for today. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world. And this is by Harriet Tubman. And I think this amazing woman is doing just that. Seli, so good to have you today.
Great to be here.
You know, just finding out from you growing up, your life, did you ever imagine you would be here at this time doing all that you're doing?
No, absolutely not. I did not. I always thought that I would live a very quiet life in obscurity somewhere, not to be seen at all whatsoever. You know, we grew up, you know, in a family of five kids, 2 parents, Laboni, quiet area, you know, and then I went to Satellite Estate Primary in JHS.
Okay.
Typical Saito school. And everything was always very proper and organized because of my father. This is a man who, even when you're sitting in his living room, you know that our dining chairs have this wood support underneath.
Yeah.
You can't even put your leg there. you have to place your feet on the ground. You know, everything was always so orderly. There were no vacations. You were not allowed to go to any of the excursions that were nothing. You didn't do anything. So I still now in Accra, even having grew up in Accra, I still use the Google map to find my way around.
Okay.
Because apart from Laboni, Nyaniba, and then Labadi, where I was schooling, and that was it. And then Christ the King, where we used to church, that was it. That was it. You won't be allowed to do any other thing. And playing in your compound. End of story. He was so guarded, you know, but also he was a very spiritual person, very religious. And always told us that he would have been a Roman Catholic father. And we said, well, then we wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. And by this, you're talking about Mr.
Cyril Akolache. That's my dad.
May he
my
rest
dad
in perfect peace. Yeah.
had been in broadcasting for 37 years.
Yeah.
All his life in one institution, you know, GBC, until he passed on. And so, and I used to watch him do what he did, how journalism consumed his life. So it never appealed to me at all. Oh. You know, and then during the news time, we'll be asked to come and all sit in the hall and watch the news. You know, so I mean, as a child, it seemed very boring. And then, from the perspective of knowing my father, I thought that this job took him away from us too much. So we didn't get to see him until we hit the gate when he was coming in the evening, and then everybody will get into, get into order, and then yeah. But my mom, she's a teacher, and being a teacher, very disciplinarian type of mother, screaming all over the place, but soft and nice. She'll give you a nice blend of the two. So it was quite like any normal family growing up. So that was it.
Wow, very, very interesting. But I'm just wondering, if you were not so much into broadcasting, how did you end up in it?
I really don't know.
Wow.
And that's what my book is about. The book I wrote, How God Spoke to Me, God's purpose, man's plans.
Yes.
So it's about how God shifts you into his purpose, because he made you. He knows why and how he made you. But you don't know it yet. When you come into this world, you begin to discover who you are, then what you're supposed to do, and then if he leads you and if you fall in his will, then you begin to walk in your purpose.
That's
So
right.
I had no clue. I did not fancy it because I'm typically shy and reserved. My natural instinct is not to walk up and say hello to you when I see you. My natural instinct is to walk by.
You don't look
Walk by and hide. That's my natural instinct. But getting into broadcasting taught me to learn to be able to connect with people, because every now and then you see that I was shut off. And that's me.
You.
I was shut off and then be far off for a while, and then I'll come back.
So I'm here with Selikem Acolatse Apaloo, and we are discussing from her book, How God Spoke to Me, God's Purpose, Man's Plan. So now we're diving right into this
Right.
book. How did you come about this? What's the inspiration behind this book?
The inspiration behind this, I think, happened because I saw myself transitioning, surprisingly, from the person I thought I was into the person that God wanted me to be. And so when I began to feel that move, I thought that I wanted to share how it happens, and using my experience and what happened to me, if I could use it to speak to other people who were being shifted into purpose. Because many of us are living lives, we are earning money, we are in institutions, we are working for people, but we are not happy inherently. That joy, inner joy that makes you feel fulfilled, that you are adding something onto the world, is not there. That feeling is not there.
That's right.
And so I got into broadcasting, because I was posted on national service to GBC. And that's how I got there. I tried to get out, it didn't work. By divine workings, it didn't work. And so I had to stay on. Now, while staying on, I began to find it interesting. Media became interesting. I saw the presenters, and opportunity presented itself. I happened to be a national service personnel who was selected to just understudy a training of veteran and experienced news anchors. And during that training program was when I was discovered. That was when GBC discovered that there was something in me. Even when I was offered the opportunity to be a reporter, I still asked to be a DJ instead, so that I could be behind
the scenes,
and not seen, But as fate will have it, and as destiny, God's destiny and purpose would have it, I ended up in the newsroom. After still trying to dodge, I ended up there. And then before I realized, an opportunity presented itself again. I did some exceptional work, and before I knew it, I was asked to start a 5 minutes on radio slot. And I started it. I didn't even know where it was going. And before I realized, there was an ad by GBC that they wanted TV news anchors. And then my bosses were pushing me. You should go and apply. And I'm even 1 year shy of the requirement, but I apply anyway.
Wow.
And then I get to be chosen among the, over 100 people. I get to be chosen one of the 20 people who made it, 10 of us who made it to TV, and 10 who made it to radio. And that's how I ended up on TV.
You know, for some of us sitting afar, knowing your father, being a veteran as well in broadcast and, you know, for a very long time, and being in the situation that you found yourself, we thought, oh, so it was Daddy that probably pushed her
No!
into broadcasting.
No, Vicky, no. When the posting came, I went to him and I said, how on earth could you do this to me? And he said he had nothing to do. And I know my father. My father is not the type to interfere.
Okay.
He believes in divinity. So he will not divine workings. So he will not. He will never also push you. And even whilst I was on the job as a journalist, he didn't have direct influence. What he will do is he'll watch you from afar. When you do well, he'll call you and say, you did well. Do this maybe next time.
Okay.
Next time you want to watch this, you want to do that. But half the time, you were not hearing of him. He wasn't giving you story ideas. And moments where I was desperate, like when I had to, for instance, run commentary for the Independence Day, and I was desperate. I was going to do it for the first time, and you call him and say, Papa, so today I'm going to do this thing, and
what should I do?
What should I do? He goes like, okay, so how have you prepared? And you're like, really? Just tell me what to do. Let me go
do step by step.
Then he says, okay, how have you prepared? So take notes of dignitaries and their names. Would you remember? Okay, that's very important. Wish you all the best. God bless you, you know.
And that's it.
And that's it. Vicky, that's it. And he would tell you that he's praying for you and you will do well. So he never wanted to, and I see this as a strong quality of any strong mentor. They don't interfere with what God is doing with you, but they guide you with that hand, overlooking hand. And you know they are there, but they are not always in your face. That kind of mentor that, or coach that, a coach actually pushes you. He pushes you to go ahead without telling you. And that's what my father, you know, was doing. So I actually tried to get out of the posting. When I was posted there, yes, I actually tried. Yes, I did. So I actually got 2 opportunities with 2 different banks. They had my documents. All they had to do was to call me for interview. One of them I was actually taken straight to the HR's office and all that. It was sorted. So I knew I was out. I wasn't going there. Then mysteriously I got a call that they couldn't find my documents. I should resend them. Yeah.
Wow.
In one of the cases. Then the other one, also something similar like that happened. So people were called for an aptitude test and I wasn't called. So the HR, I got back and I told her that I wasn't called. And she said, well, we asked a third party to handle that part. So they had all the numbers, including yours. And here is your number among the list we gave them. And everybody on that list has been called, except they skipped your number.
God's plan.
That's it. So having realized that, I, with sadness, informed my father. And he said, you know, let God have his way. So a closed door doesn't mean you should give up. A closed door means you should try and focus on this path. Because if God has a purpose for you that is tied to so many lives, there's a tendency that he would work his own way to get you there. As long as you're willing, though, you can choose not to, because God doesn't force anyone to do anything. So I yielded. And as I yielded, I began to try and understand why I was there. And as I saw these presenters in and out do their thing, I suddenly fell in love with this interesting world where different people come in all the time, and you're going to different places and you're doing different stories. And what I loved about it was the fact that whatever you did impacted society directly.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So that's how I got into journalism. So it wasn't.
And you have chalked quite, some great feats.
Glory.
All there, and I'm sure you can see some of them on the screen right now. Selikem, I'm here with her, this amazing woman, and we are discussing from her book, How God Spoke to Me, God's Purpose, Man's Plans. We want to take a quick break. When we are back, we're diving more into this amazing book. Stay with us. There are many who have gone to their graves with untold stories. Stories meant to change and transform lives. Don't let that happen to you. If a story isn't you, it has to come out. It must be told. Do you have an idea or a life-transforming story to share? Do you want to write a book but don't know how? Let the expert writers at Reveal Multimedia help you out. Are you a preacher with a desire to convert your sermons into books and other readable materials? Reveal Multimedia offers efficient and on-time audio-to-text transcription services at a very affordable price. We also transcribe interviews, documentaries, etc. We offer other editorial services such as editing and proofreading. That's not all. At Review, the author and his or her book are our priority. We are the brain behind the Writer's Blog, a book review program which airs on Sunny FM and Sunny TV, meant to celebrate authors and their works, as well as promote other stakeholders in the publishing industry. We offer PR services for authors with top-notch publicists who create thrilling stories, book reviews and commentaries, organize book launches and related events to provide mileage on all meaningful media platforms for the author and their works. Call on us today to help bring every creative idea to life. For more information, call, text or send a WhatsApp message to 0552 535 036 or 0208 428 322. Send us an email, revealmultimediagh@gmail.com. Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at Reveal Multimedia GH. Our website is www.revealmultimediagh.com. Reveal Multimedia, dreams come alive. Welcome back. You're still watching the Writer's Blog Talk Show. We're coming to you live from La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. My makeup is by Kanketsi FC. Now, FC is Ghana's leading beauty therapy, as it were, training provider, where their mission is to complete your education and create careers. They have been at the forefront of beauty therapy and hairdressing training for over 2 decades, with graduates highly sought after by luxury spas, state-of-the-art salons, hotels, and wellness centers. They run full programs in beauty therapy, cosmetology, hair technology, beauty and therapy spa. You can also register for their short award programs in makeup artistry, nail technology, manicure, pedicure, Swedish massage, facial therapy, eye technology, and various short programs in hair technology. Get in touch with them. Number on your screen now, 0244 233 494 or 0242 786 761. You can also visit their ultra-modern campus at number X46 Mate Carpenter Street, next to Twinnies Montessori, East Airport, Accra. FC College at B. Much more. I'm here with Selikem Acolatse Apaloo. We're discussing from her book, How God Spoke to Me. So right now, let's talk about purpose. Right. Selikem, what is purpose and what does it take for me and of course our viewers to fall in line with God's purpose for us?
Purpose is basically the reason for which something is made, its intended use. So when we talk about human beings, we are talking about the reason for which you were added onto the world. why you were added onto the world, why God added you onto the world in this instance. To find your purpose, you need to know who you are. What are your interests? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? And what do you have to offer the world?
Okay.
Then you would have to seek the face of God, if you are a Christian, on His will for you.
Okay.
Because His will has your purpose in there. As you do that, He will direct your path towards that purpose. And then you yield to it and live the purpose. Purpose brings fulfillment. Purpose is not drudgery. It's not just another day. It's not just another job. It's not just another career or another thing. It is what brings out the beauty of the personality you have and what makes you tick. So if you're living your purpose, you will find that you feel content with yourself and you feel at peace with the world. But when you're not living your purpose, there's always this conflict and struggle of wishing you were somewhere else, wishing you were doing something else, but then your hands being tied and you not being able to do it because of one or two reasons or the other. And pursuing purpose takes courage. It takes courage because it's not easy to be who you want to be when we're living in a system that is structured to put people in a pool. We go to school and we're all sort of conscientized to work for people. We come out, we are conscientized to either be the engineer or be the doctor or be the policeman, and that's it. Nobody is talking about the painter. What about the painter? What about the musician? What about the sculptor? What about the one who is able to make cars out of nothing, like our cantankerous? What about them? There doesn't seem to be space for people living out what they truly want to give the world. What about if you want to do something to change the environment and you need a certain kind of support? It's not there. So in our context, it takes a lot of courage to walk the purpose walk. But you can if you are forceful enough, if you are determined enough, if you are focused enough, you will. Because walking the purpose starts with the passion. You pursue the passion. What the passion and the zeal, the excitement of the purpose. As you pursue that passion, you begin to get the reward for it. The results come later and they come eventually. But what keeps you going is the joy that this is what you were meant to do and you are doing just that.
So for you, transitioning, or as it were, as in the media, you know, we're like, no, I don't see her face on TV anymore. Where's Selikem? What happened? Especially your female, your all women's
voice.
Women's voice. I used to watch it and I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening to her? And then you were just off the scene. So tell us about that, because then I'm thinking that God redirected your path to pursuing another kind of purpose. And so that's left us, you know, thinking and wondering if that was even the best decision, you know.
And I like I like this question a lot because it's still the same thing happening. What is happening now is I'm pursuing a humanitarian cause with my foundation, which is non-Christian, Christian. Sorry.
Okay.
So it's Christian non-profit. That's what I wanted to say. You know, the non-profit Christian.
Okay.
So we are sharing and spreading the gospel while supporting the vulnerable and needy. We're providing medical aid for women and children. Why women and children? Because half of the time while I was on the show hosting Women's Voice, I saw women in pain, women who were living with children with conditions that needed constant medication, medical attention, but they couldn't afford it. I saw women who had come from the rural areas to Accra to make a living. Kayaye were on the show. pregnant. What was her motive? What's the motive for a pregnant married woman to leave the northern part of Ghana and come to Accra and sleep on the streets and be abused? What's the motivation for that? And I also saw many women in several industries who needed a voice. They needed an outlet. They needed an opportunity to do something different, but there was no outlet. And I thought, I got overwhelmed at a point with listening to the problems.
Wow.
There were gaps everywhere. Communities where there's no water. You know, when you talk about women empowerment, you're only talking about providing more opportunities for women.
For women, yeah.
But really, women empowerment at its basic, or feminism at its basic, is just enabling that woman who wants to be able to provide for herself and her family and live her purpose. If it's 20 cedis, okay, to be able to, so if it's a woman in Keta district who wants 20 cedis to buy gari so she can sell, and yet she's not going to get it from her family because she's a woman. She's not going to get a bank to give her the 20 cedis. She's not going to get anyone to give her that 20 cedis. Her husband will not give her the 20 cedis, but will expect her to manage with what she has. And yet she wants to be able to do that. She knows she has energy. She can sell the gari. Now, who gives her the 20 cedis? And that is where the concept of providing little forms of support for women like this. Then you encounter, for instance, a case of a woman who has a child with cerebral palsy and who is legally married, but the husband vanishes because of the condition. She can't leave her child to go and work constantly because this child needs attention all the time. No house help or nanny will stay and take care of this child. So she's taking care of this child. What do you expect her to be doing? And these stories I'm sharing, they are real stories. They are not just examples. She is a worker at an insurance company, and she works on commission. She goes out to get people and gets commission. How is she going to get her commission if she's going out with her child? Now, mind you, her child is stigmatized by the society today. So she can't go around looking for people with this child with cerebral palsy. This child has to be in school. Even out of school, the child is her responsibility. How many hours will he spend in school? And after school, which neighbor is going to be kind enough to take care of her? Apart from that, because the man is not there, who is going to provide the money for her to take care of herself? And these issues with time brought me to tears. And I said, why am I still sitting on this show? Why am I not out there as part of the solution? Why am I not on the streets as part of the channel of hope for such people? So I said, no, I think I've done this enough. I think I've sat on here and talked enough. I need to get off this set and now go onto the streets. But I love my Jesus. So I say that at the time I left during the pandemic, COVID.
Yeah, COVID. Yeah.
People were dying, people were sick, people were hungry, and I saw queues being formed, people were being handed food, and they'll go home. But they probably needed diapers, they probably needed something else. Who was doing that one? Plus, people were losing hope. So who was going to give them hope? And then people were dying. Okay, where were they going? So who was going to, this was a good opportunity to spread the message of the gospel, plus be a channel of kindness to people. And so the Hope Mission came in. And so I dropped the show and I dropped it all and I got out there and I said, no, I want to be part of this solution. If I perish, I perish. If I got out there and I got COVID and I died, I'll go to heaven and I'll tell God, I did it. I managed to spread the gospel and I helped them. So interestingly, since August 2020, every single month we are out on the streets preaching the gospel, supporting people. A woman who had fibroid, if this fibroid had lived with her for more than 12 years, 18 years, she lived with this fibroid, and people thought she was cursed. By God's grace, we were able to connect with another NGO. We partnered. They provided the funds. We were there praying with her and going to theater with her and all that. And by God's grace, that fibroid is out. Mary Kwanzaa. That was my first assignment when I left. In fact, she came to me at GBC at the time, and then it propelled me to leave. So Mary is now happy, living a life free of that burden. And her skin, her glow, she's back, she's alive, she's well. You know, and that's exciting, you know, for me. And so if we are able to know when we need to move on to do the next thing, then that's it. And that is where it comes in. So people feel like you left.
Yeah.
I only left your screen. And you know something, what we've done whilst on the ground is we've used the power of the social media.
And it's working. I see all the
working.
great works
That's
you're
what we
doing.
do. That's how people support what we're doing, and that's how we manage to get funds to help all these people we've helped along the line. We've been able to pay for surgery for a girl who had hydrocephalus in the brain. That's that condition with fluid in the brain. Proceeds from the book How God Spoke to Me, the launch, went to her. 7,000 cedis went to paying for that surgery.
Amazing.
We also have a boy who had cancer of the bone. In fact, he pushed me to write the book because we needed more funds for him, because his case needed a lot more than we were gathering. And what we were gathering wasn't much. So I said, look, if I write this book and I sold it at 50 CDs, 25 CDs goes to collating this money to pay for his surgery. Then we've hit the jackpot. And guess what? After the book launch, just a week after, we lost him. I was pained. I went for the funeral. I was very sad. Pakwesi, we lost him. So Pakwesi is in this book. His picture is here. We lost him. But right from the funeral, this Pakwesi. So this Pakwesi. And right from the funeral, I went straight to give whatever I was supposed to give Pakwesi to this girl who had the brain condition. So it was the same day, from the funeral at Insom, straight to Seli Ministries office to make the donation to Danicia and the family.
This is, this is really, really powerful, and I can feel her passion. and that's what she's trying to say. It wasn't that she wasn't passionate when she was on the screen. This is yet another purpose, God redirecting her to pursue this particular hope mission, and I'm excited about it. You can check out her social media handles, YouTube, of course, and you see the great work God is doing through her and her team. But really, you spoke about courage.
Yes.
And God's timing, his purpose for you to actually walk in his will. So what happens to the person who's afraid?
You are afraid.
Afraid to step out, afraid of what people would think, because you had the courage
I
to
faced
go.
all that anyway.
Yeah.
I faced all that anyway, but I held on to what my inner conviction told me, which was the voice of God.
Okay.
So if you are not a believer, what is your innermost conviction? How strong is that innermost conviction? What is it telling you to do? You know, there are times when you want to do a particular thing, but there are circumstances around you are telling you that no, you can't do it. Typical example. You have a decision. The decision is yours to either do it or not. What are the consequences of doing it? You get your fulfillment. You get to do what you want to do. And because it's so deep, the universe is going to conspire with you to make it happen. Okay? But it's a risk you have to be willing to take. If you don't do it, you get stuck there and nothing ever happens. Miles Monroe tells us that the richest place is the cemetery, because it's buried with people who had all sorts of ideas, who never lived it. They never did. And look, I've seen this evolve. We've used the media, because I was in media. Every time we're on the streets, you see me with a camera, and we're like, hi, we are at Agbogloshi today. We're spreading the message of the gospel, and we are also supporting these people in this community. We are giving them 10 bags of whatever. We are giving them this. So if you can, join in and let's do this. And I'm always on the screen, sort of. So I'm still on the screen.
Yeah,
I'm just on your social media and on your phone.
Not the TV. That we all know that.
And this time,
it's been fading off.
And this time, I'm part of the solution. That is my joy.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
I see it in your eyes. Can you see it in her eyes? I'm here with Selikem Acolatse Apaloo. We're discussing from her book, How God Spoke to Me. When we come back from this break, we're talking more. In time for TWB Nuggets with Baba Okran.
This is TWB Nugget. Welcome to TWB Nugget. Today, we'll be talking about reading books you enjoy. Yes, setting realistic reading goals comes with reading a book which you enjoy. When you enjoy a book, you find yourself so engrossed in it that sometimes within a day or two, you finish the book. I remember getting this book. In a day, I had finished the book. It was so good. Whenever I put it down, I felt like a part of me was missing. So I always went to pick it up and I started reading. By the close of the day, I had finished reading the book. I think it was about 200 and something pages. I finished the book in a day. That is how good it was. Because I enjoyed reading it, I could finish it in a day. And I was able to achieve realistic reading goals for myself. And so, for you to achieve your realistic reading goal, find that book that you enjoy reading. It could be business, finances, or marriage, whatever it is. Just find that book. Go get it and start reading. And I assure you, you will finish it within a twinkle of an eye. Anyway, that is our tip for today. My name is Baba, and like I always say, bye for now. This is TWB Nugget.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us right here on the Writers Blog Talk Show. We're coming to you live from La Palm Royal Beach Hotel inside Accra. Now, the Review magazine is out. It's an online magazine that is meant to give a voice to authors in our time. Make sure that you check out our handle. And if you have an article that will change the world, if you have written a book you want us to review and write commentaries for you, just get in touch with us. 0552535036 number on your screen now. Now, regarding all our designs, social media, Facebook, Instagram, all designs concerning the Writer's Blog and Review Multimedia is by kind courtesy the Concilio. Now, the Concilio is a place where they offer the best deals in graphic design services, brand development, social media marketing, video and photography services. Numbers on your screen, email address as well. Make sure you're getting in touch with them for the best. They have you covered when it comes to your brand. The Concilio, everything is designed. So I'm still here with Selikem, a very sweet woman doing amazing things for God. Selikem, when we went off for the break, we were talking about courage, the zeal to step out of the comfort zone and really do and follow God's will. In your book, chapter 3, you talked about you will be called crazy for responding to God's voice.
Yes.
Why that chapter?
You know, let me talk about that chapter by talking about the chapter before, which is that you may not like God's strategy for your purpose. This is a very simple book. Chapters, each chapters take about just 3 or 4 pages.
Oh, it's quite cute.
You can be done very soon.
Yeah.
You may not like God's strategy for your purpose because, yes, now you've discovered your purpose. But he says, okay, to get to your purpose, leave the set and go into the streets. So that strategy may not be good for you. Maybe you may just want to be on set anyway. But how is that going to blend with what you're doing? So probably his purpose for me was to help the poor, but he thought, go through journalism first. And I didn't want to. But he knew what the media would add to what the ministry and foundation is doing now. And so the strategy for his purpose will not be what you're thinking it will be. Oh, you think you're going to get money and you're going to get it through this. No, maybe what if he says sell plantain chips first? When you sell the plantain chips, one day you'll meet a woman who will buy plantain chips in bulk and then will say to you that, wow, I didn't know you were that good at singing. I want to take you on contract now as my artist. You got it. Now you're there as an artist. How? But you started selling plantain chips. So don't despise the strategy that God has aligned for you yet, because you may never know the outcome. Be faithful. Yeah. Then you'll be called crazy. When you start selling that plantain chips, I'm still using this plantain chip scenario. People will say, what? You have a nice voice and you're selling plantain chips.
Why?
Pardon. No. Just that, Jama, you know, how can she leave media and go? Hey, show. I remember when we went on Facebook the first day. I got 1 point something K or 2 point something K views.
And it was because they were wondering.
Hey, show. To see, I just say I didn't know. I critical, which is on. You know, and so everybody wanted to see what was she going to do. And there I was. I started right from Choco Market, and we were on the streets doing that, spreading the message of the gospel. And you know, funny enough, the people we encountered said, "Which church is this? What church is? I want to join this church. Hey, what church may no more band and share the gospel no more child there? Hey, I will cry." You know.
Wow.
But you see, then it brought out something else. You'll be called crazy. People will call you names. So let me read.
Yeah.
I'm reading from page 27.
Okay.
But a number of people still thought that I was crazy to take that decision at such a time. Friends and acquaintances called me and questioned my exit strategy, perhaps to check whether I was really losing my mind to drop such a reputable job. To you in a similar dilemma, I say, take a deep breath. To you who may be contemplating taking an action because you have heard from God while everyone around you thinks you are crazy, I say, relax. The best thing to do is to plan around what God is telling you to start with. Have a plan so that God can reorganize it if he feels the need to. Is God talking to you? What is he telling you about your life? Think through it, pray on it, meditate on it. Try out different scenarios, but by all means have a backup plan. Okay, so this is how to go through the crazy. Keep your focus. Keep your focus, because you see, when you start a painting, imagine a painting, a fresh painting. When the artist starts painting, he starts from the eyebrows, the neck, the shoulder.
You see nothing happening.
You see nothing happening. But the guy continues. What do you think gives him the zeal? What gives him the zeal is the vision ahead. He knows the picture that is going to be at the end of that painting. Because he knows, he will keep painting. But if you meet him halfway, why are you? What are you doing? So, I will say to you who has found your purpose and is shaky, because people are asking you if you are crazy. People are asking you things, all kinds of questions. Keep your focus, because you know the big picture. In the COVID, I wrote this book, and I was blessed to have Reverend Dr. Joyce, of all people, write the forward. I called her, she said, I will do it. At the book launch, I had Prophet Achumana say, grace the occasion. Prophet Maxwell Sunda, who is my pastor, grace the occasion. Mrs. Matilda Emisa Arthur, grace the occasion. This was COVID. This was when we were limited to 200 people per conference, per event or something. Okay, I had Francisca Duncan Williams at that. All these people, among so many other people, Apostle David Awosanya, all these people, among so many other people, GJA president was there. So many influential people were there. It was such a quality crowd. And I asked myself, God, why?
Why?
How? It's because I listened. When you listen, you get the right people to identify with you. So keep your focus. Then let me move on to what comes after that. You being, after you're called crazy, there's another thing. The process of the purpose will test you.
The process.
The process will test you.
The process.
So, your plantain chips are torn. Before you meet your destiny helper, now this is destiny. No. Whilst you're doing that, all this time you are scheming the plantain, frying, packaging, selling. It's a process. You're probably going to sell for another 6-8 months before you meet that destiny helper. Whilst you're going through that process, that's the test. God wants to see how faithful you are. He says it is accounted for his stewards to be faithful. If you are not faithful enough, he's not going to add on to you. So that's why he says that he who is faithful in little is faithful in much. So he will add on to you if you are faithful. And if you keep your focus and you keep going and you keep doing it, knowing the picture that you have in mind, at the end of the day, he will reward you. But be mindful that you will have to go through a test period. People tested me. I realized that they did, because when I started and I put out mobile money number for support, I'm sure people were like,
is she now begging?
She thinks we are going to support her. So I have very influential friends. I never went to any of them. I prayed on the flyer and I put it on social media and I said, God, do your bit.
Do your work.
Do your bit. And then I waited. 2 weeks to the time, nobody. 3 days to the time, nobody. Nobody sent in any money. Okay. What was I supposed to do? I was supposed to give out clothes and shoes and all these things. I went into my wardrobe. All these dresses I was using to read the news. I mean, the share bag. We ironed them. We washed them nicely, packed them neatly into bags. Shoes not mentioned. I'm not going to be on air again. I packed them in. I looked into the air. How many rice do we have? We have 2. Give me 1. Milo, no, you're 2 now more. Give me 1. There are people who don't have. I took from the house. With my husband's permission, of course. But he also thought I was crazy, though. Whilst I was doing that, 2 days to the time, I got a call from a Muslim friend, Ibrahim Oponkwati. He says, Seli, I know you're doing something for your, and he has a foundation. So I want to support. Can you come to my office this afternoon? I said, yes, sir. I'm coming. Miko Druho, this Muslim, even though we had put on the flyer that we were going to evangelize the word of God, no Christian came forward. This Muslim gave us 4 bags of clothing, not used though. New from Bill from Abutre, because he has a foundation that they also, people send him things from abroad, and he's been in the system for a long time. Crime Check Foundation, they do a lot of these things. He gave us 4 bags. In fact, it wasn't even fitting into the car. And then he added toothpaste, toothbrush, added 2,000 Ghana cedis of cash, gave us other things, and then he added a box of Bibles, new Bibles. And I said, God, you are God. I don't know, but
wow.
I said, you are God. I said, you are God, because then you showed me that you called me out to do this thing. And at the time that he was testing me, not so much, will she still do it? Will she go ahead? So when I decided to take out my clothes and wash and iron and what I had in the home to give out, he was just looking at me. That was the test period. But then he had something better for me. And we went to Choco with these items, and these guys were so blessed. They were asking me, now sorry, Benny, what church is this? Because we were on the streets speaking to people, we were entering homes, we were meeting some of these people, very underprivileged in their areas. We started from the Choco markets, and they were like, they want to follow me to church. They wanted to come with us. And you see, that tells me, and that organization entered into a partnership with us, and that tells me that God is real.
Hallelujah.
And so this went on for about a few months, and then they went off, and then other people came in. Christians now came in. So the test, that's where nobody minds you, and God will watch you. Standing alone. But He will watch you to see if you're faithful. From August 2020 till now, we have been on the streets every month preaching the gospel. Nobody got COVID. No member of our families got COVID. Nobody got an accident. Nobody fell sick. There was no sneeze. You understand? But lives were touched. Families were blessed. These women whose children are sick, they were blessed. Medical interventions. Mary Kwanzaa, they say she doesn't live with that fibroid anymore. You understand? We went to Keta Government Hospital, and some people were going to deliver apparently without anything. That was something I discovered. So we gave out birth kits, and the way they were excited to have these birth kits. At least you have some diaper, you have this, we'll add sanitizer to it. And when we go out, there's something we give out. This is our, we have this in, so this is a nose mask and then tracts, you know, Bible tracts. So we'll give this out on the streets and then we'll support. From August 2020 till now, every single month we've gone out. And I made up my mind that the day I will not have anything to give, I will go with just this and the message of the gospel, because this is enough. This is more than enough. No mask at all now. You know, but somebody doesn't have even that to protect themselves. And so I'm saying this to encourage somebody out there. There are also destiny helpers that come your way. And in that chapter of destiny helpers, there's a chapter after that. It says the destiny helpers of God's purpose. I actually list the people who that have, you know. And we remember the story of Joseph and his destiny helper, the cupbearer, right? Who forgot all about him. Or
after leaving.
After leaving. And he said that I have done wrong. For there is a man in the prison who can interpret dreams.
Remember.
So I list all my destiny helpers, amazing people, Mrs. Matilda and Mr. Arthur, Prophet Maxwell Asumda, Reverend Dr. Joyce Ayi, Gifty Auntie, Ibrahim Oponkwati, so many of them. And of course, my husband.
Who has been a pillar.
You know, he like asked me so many times because he wanted to check.
Are you sure?
What's your plan? I'm saying, me need plan. See, how can you just go like that? Now I'm saying, yes, so smart as they see our phone. He said they shouldn't take anything. They should just go. And so that's what I'm doing. In the last chapter, I encourage you by saying that our God is a God of possibilities. That's the God I have come to know. He is Jeremiah 32:27. Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? When God says that he can do all things, he means all. With God, all things are possible, no? He means all. So all means you don't know anybody. You haven't done this NGO thing before. You haven't preached the word on the street before. But God rewarded us with an office as well. That by God's grace, we didn't have to pay for. And we are comfortably in an office. If I tell you that 1 peso of my money went into putting up that office, I'll be lying to you. Only recently, the Lord sent some people to donate a desk to us and other things to us. God keeps giving. And what just touches me the most, which is a testimony that I want to share in this month of women, the celebrating women, is that a woman who she actually deals in clothing. She sells clothing. And instead of selling her clothing, she decided to send them to our outfit to give out. And whenever you support, I go on my knees, I pray, and I ask God, what does this person want? Or supporting, and I pray with you. And I prayed with her. And to the glory of God, the need that she came with has been met. And met in double portions. And she says to me in a message, says, Seli, I don't know, but Dana only me bompire that day, no. I had given up on bearing children. But when you prayed for me at the age of 43, I have taken seed.
Wow.
And I said,
wow.
I lied on the floor and I cried. Because I said, what have I done to deserve? Say, to listen to me on behalf of somebody
else.
Her life, and she says, you share them later. She says, testimonies since I met you and encountered your ministry and your NGO, testimonies have been so many.
This is amazing indeed.
Amen.
How God spoke to me. How God spoke to me. And that's the title of the book. I'm here with the amazing author. And I'm so emotional. I actually saw this coming. And I actually thought that I was going to get emotional. But she was the one going to get emotional. I am also very emotional at this point. Why? Because for most of us, God calls us.
Yeah.
And some way, somehow, we are so afraid in our shell because we are afraid of the unknown. What if? What if? But this book will empower you to step out in faith, knowing that he who has called you is faithful enough to bring to pass that which he has said concerning your life. Seli, this is so amazing. And
How
the last words.
How did you get me to cry? You this girl.
Your last words to the person watching us now.
To the person watching us now, I want to say that, you know, everybody has a cause. There is a reason for which you are here. And there's something you're doing right now you have put your hands to. Never, ever give up. Once you have the conviction within you that this is what is for me, don't ever give up, because it will happen. It will happen. If you trust that it is God's purpose for you, just be faithful, focus, keep close to God, be in tune with him, do your prayer, do your word time, fellowship with God, grow in him, surround yourself with the right people. Naysayers, no, cancel them from your life. Those who are laughing, don't call, block, I said block them, block them, and focus on people who are encouraging you, are standing by you, because God, and the God I know, and the God you are serving, he is faithful. He will do it. Don't give up on your purpose. God bless you.
Don't give up on your purpose. I'm running by you a few of the chapter headings. No life is without purpose. You may not live God's strategy. You may not like God's strategy for your purpose. You will be called crazy for responding to God's purpose. The process of God's purpose will test you. The destiny helpers of God's purpose, they will come along the way. Our God is a God of possibilities. How much is this going for, Seli?
This is going for 20 CDs now.
20 CDs. And where do we get copies?
Call this number.
Okay.
024 3305 274. 024 3305 274. We also do deliveries.
Okay.
So deliveries is the way to go now. So just call and then we'll deliver.
Thank you so much. We've been back and forth with this one. I thank God finally it happened. Thank you, Seli.
I'm blessed.
My prayer is that this hope mission and all that God has called you to do will come to pass to fulfill that which he has called you to do, and more destiny helpers to make the work complete. Once again, thank you so much for passing through. Oh, it has been the Writer's Blog Talk Show with me, Vicky Amwa. We are also changing lives because God has called us to do this. We are pursuing no matter what. Thank you once again for joining us. We came through to you right here from La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. We are back next week, God willing, with another exciting edition. The Writer's Blog, read, write, indulge your mind.
Hi, I'm Vicky. I love books and enjoy reading. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is to read. If I go for a run, I listen to an audiobook. In my leisure moments, I read whilst enjoying some good music. Are you an avid reader, or you're not learning how to read? Maybe you used to enjoy reading, but somehow it has become a thing of the past. Come on this journey with my guests and I as we dive into various books and themes these books talk about. Every week, I speak to various authors who are behind life-transforming books, as well as promote various stakeholders within the publishing industry. The Kiddie Zone segment on the show is meant specifically to ignite reading interest in your child. Watch the Writer's Blog on this station this and every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. and on Sunny 88.7 FM every Saturday at 1 p.m. This program is powered by Reveal Multimedia and supported by the Writer's Blog. Read, write, indulge your mind.
Thank you for watching the Writer's Blog on this channel. If you want to sponsor, partner, advertise, or have your book reviewed on the show, call or send a text or WhatsApp message to or send an email to. Follow us on social media. This program is powered by Review Multimedia. Join us next week for another exciting edition. The Writer's Blog. Read, write, indulge your mind.